All right, let's talk about completely transforming the way you study. Seriously, we're going to move you from just being a note taker to becoming a real knowledge builder, using a whole system powered by AI. It's designed to help you learn faster and deeper, and frankly, with a whole lot less stress. So let's dive in. We've all been there, right? You're sitting in a lecture, and the information is just coming at you like a fire hose. You're trying to scribble down one key idea, and by the time you've got it on the page, the professor's already 4 points ahead. It feels like you're fighting a losing battle from the second you walk in.
So here's the thing. This isn't about getting faster at typing. It's about changing your entire job in the classroom. What if you could just stop being the court reporter? What if you could hand off that frantic transcription work and use all that brain power to actually listen, to ask questions, and to connect the dots?
To get you there, we're going to walk through 4 key parts. First up, we'll really nail down what this modern study problem is. Then, we'll build out your own specialized AI toolkit. After that, we'll put it all into action with a step-by-step study cycle. And finally, and this is super important, we'll cover how to use all these amazing tools ethically and effectively.
Okay, so let's start with that core problem. For decades, a student's main job in a lecture hall was basically to write down what was being said. But now, with AI, that job is automated. It's done. And that frees up your mind to make a huge shift from being a passive stenographer to being an active, engaged learner.
And you can really see the difference here. The old way is just pure anxiety, right? Your head's down, you're missing the big picture stuff, you're just trying to capture words. The new way, though, is all about engagement. Your head's up. You're actually listening for what the professor emphasizes. And the things you write down, they're not facts. They're questions and connections. That's where real learning happens.
So how do we make this shift happen? Well, you don't need one giant do-it-all AI. The much smarter way to go is to build what's called a stack of specialized tools. I like to think of it as putting together your own personal study squad, where every single member has a specific job that they are the absolute best at.
So your squad has 4 essential roles to fill. First, you need your capture specialist. This tool's job is to record and transcribe the lecture perfectly. Second, you have the analyzer, who takes all that raw text and magically turns it into useful study guides. Third is the creator, who helps you out with writing and research. And finally, you've got the tester, who's there to make sure you actually know your stuff.
And here is what that squad looks like in the real world. For capturing, a tool like Otter.ai is fantastic. For analyzing that transcript, you can use something like Notebook LM, which only uses your course materials. For creating, a tool like PaperPal can find sources and whip up citations for you. And for testing, Claude.ai is amazing at making quizzes. Now the best part? Every tool you see here has a free version, so you can build this entire system without spending a single penny.
All right, let's get into the practical side of things. How does this all fit together? This is the AI-powered study cycle. We're going to take our toolkit and use it every step of the way, from the moment a lecture starts all the way through to exam day. So picture this. During the lecture, your job is totally different now. You just open Otter.ai and hit record. That's it. Now, instead of copying down facts, you're writing down questions that pop into your head. If the professor says something that confuses you, you just jot down the timestamp. You sketch the little diagram they draw on the board. You're actually processing the meaning, not just the words.
Okay, lecture's over. Now the clock starts on what might be the most important part of this whole process, the 15-minute review. Sometime in the next 24 hours, you take that transcript from Otter and upload it to Notebook LM. Then you just ask it, summarize the 5 key concepts, or generate a study guide. Cognitive science calls this the spacing effect. And let me tell you, reviewing material like this while it's fresh, those 15 minutes are worth more than hours of cramming a week later.
And when it's time to actually write a paper, your AI squad is right there with you. You can use Grammarly to help with real-time editing, a tool like PaperPal to find academic sources and create perfect citations, and something like Notion AI to pull all of your notes, transcripts, and assignments together into one master dashboard. It just handles all the busy work so you can focus on your actual ideas.
Now for the final piece of the puzzle, testing yourself. This right here is an incredibly powerful prompt you can use with a tool like Claude.ai. See, you're not just asking for a quiz, you're creating your own personal adaptive tutor. You're telling the AI, hey, test me, and then get harder or easier based on how I'm doing. This is personalized learning, custom built for you.
So why is this so crazy effective? Well, it's all based on a proven learning principle called active retrieval practice. Just passively rereading your notes,
It's one of the worst ways to study. But forcing your brain to pull out the information, like you do in a quiz, actually strengthens the neural pathways to that memory. It's like the difference between watching someone else lift weights and actually lifting them yourself.
Okay, we've built this powerful toolkit, we know how to use it, now we have to talk about the rules of the road. Because using these tools effectively also means using them responsibly, and that starts with understanding academic integrity in this new world.
Rule number 1. The absolute first step, before you do anything else, is simple. Ask for permission to record. Policies can vary wildly from one university to the next, and even from one professor to the next. Some have concerns about privacy or their intellectual property. A simple, polite email is all it takes, but trust me, it is a non-negotiable step.
So what can you expect? Well, universities tend to fall into one of 4 camps. Some might just prohibit AI tools completely. Others might allow them, but only with specific permission for certain assignments. A really common approach is to allow them as long as you cite them, just like any other source. And some courses might even encourage you to use them freely. The most important thing is that you have to know which of these rules applies to each of your classes.
And that brings us to the most important principle of all: accountability. It's simple. If your AI tool makes up a fact, or hallucinates a fake citation, or produces from flawed logic, and you put that in your work, that mistake is on you. Period. You are always the final author, the final editor, and you are responsible for everything you turn in.
Ultimately, it really all comes down to this. These tools are partners in your thinking process. They're here to handle the grunt work, the transcription, the summarizing, the formatting, so that you can dedicate your brain power to the real work of critical thinking, of synthesis, of creativity. Use AI to think with it, not to think for you.
So there you have it, a complete framework to build an AI study stack that acts as your personal research assistant, your adaptive tutor, and your tireless editor. It's a system designed to free you from all that academic busywork and give you back your most precious resource, your time. So the only question left is, the one right there on your screen. What are you going to do with it?